At the beginning of 2023, I set two goals. Number one, it was to be able to read from memory, from Surah An-Nas to Surah Al-Furqan. Number two, it was to make $1 million profit. Alhamdulillah, we are getting close to the end of 2023 and those goals have been accomplished already. In the past few years, I have mastered not just the art of setting goals, but the science of smashing them. From not knowing a word of Arabic to teaching it to thousands of people. From being financially challenged to generating over $1 million in a year. From being overweight to achieving peak fitness. My journey has been transformative. In this video, you're not just going to hear about my journey. You're going to learn the essence of it. I'm going to share with you the strategies, the mindset shifts, the crucial changes that enabled me to turn my aspirations into reality. This is not just about dreaming big, it's about how and the practical steps you can start taking today to live those dreams. So if you are ready to redefine your limits and reshape your life, stay with me. This might be the turning point you have been waiting for. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, amma ba'd. Welcome to this full guide, this tutorial, and this presentation of my protocol, my life protocol that has helped me to accomplish many different things. Once you start using this protocol and once you start applying it in your life, at one point you might get burnt out. That's something normal. And so you will need a reference to go back to. Of course, you can use this full guide in this tutorial as a reference, but as well, I want you to have something physical. So I will give you a few resources in the form of a PDF for you to go back and use as a reference when you start feeling that you are burning out. All right. So in this video and in this tutorial, we are going to talk about the mindset you need to adapt. Second thing, we are going to talk about how to set goals, how to plan for those goals, how to work towards those goals, the execution part of it, and how to maintain. So let's get into the first step. The first step of the mindset that you need to have, that you need to adapt, that is a must. And we will talk about this. It's not just a nice trait to have. It's a must as a Muslim. Once you have said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, the first pillar of Islam, once you have accepted Islam, is the mindset and the understanding that only Allah Azza wa Jal can give you something, that only Allah Azza wa Jal can take something away from you, that only Allah Azza wa Jal, if you fear people, only Him can decide if these people can take something away from you, or if these people can hurt you, or if these people will prevent you from achieving your goals. That only Allah Azza wa Jal can make something that's difficult easy for you. That only Allah Azza wa Jal will give you a solution when you face a problem in the goal that you are trying to achieve. That only Allah Azza wa Jal will give you strength and energy when you feel weak. That only Allah Azza wa Jal will give you the power to stop procrastinating if you want to start chasing a particular goal. This is a thing that you need to embody, that it needs to become automatic. Just as how automatic it is when somebody tells you, put your hand in this fire, the same way how automatic it is for your system, your body, to understand that if you put your hand in that fire, you will get burned. The same way your body and your system needs to understand that only Allah Azza wa Jal have full power over everything, over even the leaf when falling from a tree. This leaf is only falling from this tree because Allah allowed it. Everything goes by Him and He decides if that thing is happening or not. He has full superiority, full power, full authority over every insignificant thing happening in this universe. Once you embody this thing, and once you understand with its full meaning, then you have no other option than submit to Allah Azza wa Jal. I want to share with you a hadith. This hadith says that it was reported by Anas radiallahu anhu that the Prophet Muhammad said, ليسأل أحدكم ربه حاجته حتى يسأله الملح وحتى يسأله شزع نعله إذا انقطع. Whatever in your life is happening, only Allah Azza wa Jalla is able to fix that problem. Even if it's something as simple as you thinking, oh, I need salt. In your mind, our system, the way how the average person is submitted to Allah, his level of submission doesn't attain the level of, subhanallah, I'm in the middle of cooking, I need salt. The average person doesn't think, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, Ya Allah, provide me with salt. And then goes ahead and takes his feet and start taking action towards the means of going to the supermarket and attaining it. But we need to understand that if Allah Azza wa Jal doesn't want you to get this milh, this salt, you will not attain that. So when we're talking about setting goals, when we're talking about achieving our life mission, we need to first understand and have in our system this belief that we won't be able to achieve it unless we are submitted to the one whose every single decision that's taken in this world, and as we said, even the leaf falling from a tree, every decision is taken by him. So Allah Azza wa Jal wants you to fully submit to him. Allah says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu dukhulu fi silmi kaffah. O you who have believed, only for those who have believed. You need to submit, to enter the submission of Allah Azza wa Jal, to enter the deen of Islam with full submission, wholeheartedly into it. Not as Allah says in another verse, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ. And from amongst the people is those who worship Allah Azza wa Jal ala harf, one foot in, one foot out, on the edge. You don't want to be like those. You want to be a full-time believer at any moment, in times of difficulty, times of ease. So you need to enter al-Islam with full certainty, both feet in. Submit completely to Allah Azza wa Jal. So we won't achieve our goals. We won't achieve our plans. We won't be able to set goals. We won't be able to execute them. We won't be able to maintain them if we are not in full submission of Allah Azza wa Jal. And this brings me to the next point, which is having self-esteem. Now imagine being part of an army in the times of battles with swords, but your army have firearms, while the other army only have swords. Any man would feel invincible being part of the army. You get to just stay back and wait for the soldiers of the other army with swords to appear on the horizon and just pull the trigger one after one. How confident would you feel being part of the army? The same confidence you should feel being part of Allah's army in this dunya. So once you have high self-esteem based on the fact that you are submitted to the most powerful, so as an extension, you are going to be powerful as well because you are submitted to him, then there's no reason for you to have negative thoughts.
I think, oh, I don't know if I can do this because I'm just not a person that accomplishes goals. Oh, I'm just a procrastinator. I'm just weak.
All of these negative thoughts that you have is only restraining you from actually achieving more. As a Muslim, you need to believe that Allah Azza wa Jal will give you whatever you ask him. Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمْ مُدْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. In Tafsir ibn Kathir, in regards of this ayah, he explains, قال الناس لو نعلم أي ساعة ندعو فنزلت وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب نجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعن فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي. It's very important at the end of the ayah here. It says وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي, and let them believe it. You need to believe when you make dua that Allah Azza wa Jal will give it to you, because He said in the Quran that He will give it to you. And He said in the Quran as well that إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُخْلِفُ الْمِعَادِ. Allah doesn't break promises. So all of these things you need to believe it. In Tafsir ibn Kathir as well, وقال الإمام أحمد حدثنا سليمان بن داود حدثنا شعبة حدثنا قتادة عن أنس أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال يقول الله تعالى أنا عند ظن عبدي بي وأنا معه إذا دعاني. So Allah Azza wa Jal will give you according to what you believe of Him, according to your thoughts of Him. If you believe with full certainty that Allah Azza wa Jal will give you what you ask Him, He will then go ahead and give it to you. It was reported from the Salaf that when they would make dua, salatul istisqa, they will make salah to ask Allah Azza wa Jal for rain. Before praying, they would prepare the outside, covering things, getting ready for the rain, even though they haven't prayed yet. But that was the level of their certainty that Allah Azza wa Jal will respond to their dua. So you need to have self-esteem in this sense, in the sense that I know I can accomplish this goal that I'm setting myself to accomplish because I am submitted to the most powerful. And He doesn't break promises. And He told me that if I ask Him, He will give me. And this brings me to the next point, which is limiting beliefs. So limiting beliefs are basically thoughts that you have based on, most of the times, on past experiences. You think because once you tried to memorize the Quran and you didn't succeed, maybe it was because of the way you was using, maybe it was because of the teacher, maybe it was because of how busy you was at that time in your life. But because you have already tried it and it didn't work out, now you have this limiting belief that you are not capable to memorizing the Quran. And because you have this thought, you don't even try to start it. And that's why it's called a limiting belief. Because just based on this belief, you don't even start it. So you have already restricted yourself from achieving that goal. And many times as well, it happens from how we have been raised up and people around us telling us certain things. SubhanAllah, I still remember when I was about 12 years old, somebody told me about my basketball career, right? They told me if you don't go to these workouts, at that time they gave me the opportunity to go into some extra, they call them technification, or like improvement of your dribbling and skills of basketball. And I just was too lazy to go. And somebody told me, if you don't go, you will not become a professional basketball player. So imagine, this was when I was 12. It's more than 15 years ago. It's almost like 18 years ago. And I still remember, just because somebody told me that. And it hit me so deep inside of me that I actually started believing it. If I don't go to these workouts, I'm not going to achieve this. And so sometimes growing up, people say certain things to you. They might say it jokingly. Your older brother, he might say, man, you dumb, man, you stupid, boy, you slow, you don't understand these things. You are not able to accomplish these things. You are too weak, you are too this, you are too that. And these things that people drills in your mind, whether it's jokingly or whether it's seriously, your subconscious mind doesn't make the difference in between these things. And so you start believing it. And you start, once you adapt a belief, you start acting upon it. And once you start acting upon it, it becomes a behavior. And after it becomes a behavior and a habit, it becomes your destiny. Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. If you believe that Allah is capable of all things, you will not, as a believer, have these type of limiting beliefs. It's forbidden for you to believe that you cannot accomplish this thing. Because of all the ayat that we have mentioned, Allah said that if you ask Him, He will give you. So why wouldn't it be possible for you to achieve this thing? And so with these three things, submission to Allah Azza wa Jal, having a high self-esteem, and getting rid of all limiting beliefs, there is no way that you don't accomplish things. So now we have completed the first chapter of this tutorial, which is mindset. And now we are going to go into the second chapter, which is goal setting. A lot of us, we have these high aspirations and this motivation to accomplish more, to be more efficient. However, we don't know what goals to set. I don't know what my life mission should be. I don't know what my yearly goals should be. And so it's important for you to know that Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, in the first order and in the first command of the Quran, if you start from Surah Al-Fatiha and you start reading, the first thing Allah tells you to do is Ya ayyuhan nasu u'budu rabbakum. All right, so that's the main command, and that's the main thing that we are supposed to do in this dunya as believers. If that is the case, then my goals and my aspirations should be aligned to this. It should be a worship. All right, so whether you want to start a business, whether you want to make millions, whether you want to be strong, whether you want to become more intelligent, whether you want to memorize the Quran, whether it's dunyawi, whether it's something that you want to accomplish that is material, or whether it's spiritual, like memorizing the Quran or becoming closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, it needs to align with the worship of Allah Azza wa Jal. And so it would be completely retarded for someone to set a goal that will trigger the anger of Allah Azza wa Jal. Like, for example, I want to become the biggest drug dealer of my block. It's something that is forbidden and that Allah wouldn't like. So how is He going to bless a thing that goes against what He told you to do? And so make sure that any goal you set yourself to accomplish, whether it's making money, whether it's getting strong, whether it's getting more intelligent, whether it's getting more powerful, is for the cause of Allah Azza wa Jal. I want to make millions of dollars to spend that money in the cause of Allah Azza wa Jal. I want to get stronger and I want to look better, to show people that those who submit to Allah Azza wa Jal, they look like this, because most people look at a person that's strong and that has abs and that has big shoulders as somebody that's powerful. So I want them to look at me and see that those who submit to Allah Azza wa Jal are like this, because I want to represent Allah Azza wa Jal with the best of looks. And I don't want people to look at someone who submitted to Allah Azza wa Jal and he is broke and he is fat and he is dumb, he is slow. No, I want to be the best at all aspects of life. Whatever people thinks that's the best in this dunya, I want to have. So people sees that being submitted to Allah Azza wa Jal gives you all the good in this dunya. And if you make your goals a worship, then you are going to be constantly in worship of Allah Azza wa Jal. Now we get to the chapter of planning. So first we need to set a life mission. You don't want to be like a sluggish snail, aimlessly just waking up every day, just going to the same exact routine, probably struggling because you have never, even tried to get the best of the best. So of course, if you have high aspirations, that's not going to be your case, and you're going to want to achieve more. So you need to sit down and see what is your life mission. What is the ideal life that I would like to have in a few years. It might be, for example, having $100,000 in your bank account, having memorized the Quran, having a few wives, having I don't know how many children, and living in this place, living in this type of house. This is my life mission. And this is what I work towards every single day. So I read it every morning to remind myself, why did I wake up for that morning and what is my purpose? So for me is a worship, and I worship Allah Azza wa Jal through my life mission. This brings me to the next step of this chapter, which is our daily routine. Once you have a life mission, we know now what our daily routine should look like. So, for example, if my life mission is to memorize the Quran, get married, have 3 children, have $100,000 sitting in my bank that perhaps later you are going to invest into something, whatever it might be, right? So memorize Quran, get married, have 3 children, for example, and $100,000 in my bank account. All right. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to tackle one thing at a time. So if out of those 4 things, certain things you will be able to accomplish at the same time, for example, get married and memorize Quran. You can do these 2 things at the same time. But for example, accomplishing the goal of getting $100,000 in your bank account, that might require a big chunk of your energy. So you might want to perhaps accept the fact of having a job right now, and let me just tackle memorizing the Quran. Or the opposite, let me first get this money, and then once I have the money, I will memorize the Quran. However, in whatever order you want to accomplish it, what you want to do is, for example, I want to start with the Quran. All right, perfect. So what do we do now? We take the life mission. The life mission is memorize the Quran. And every year you want to give yourself about no more than 3 goals to accomplish. And those 3 goals cannot take your whole life, your whole day to accomplish. Like, for example, memorizing the Quran is a hefty task. Unless you decide to memorize the Quran a very small portion every single day, and at the same time do other things, that's fine. But if you are like me, who is very intense when chasing a goal, I just want to chase that. I want to accomplish that and then chase the next goal. However, if you want to memorize the Quran this year, or at least get closer to that goal, let's say that, for example, this year, I just want to memorize 12 chapters. And each chapter is about 20 pages. All right, so that means that on a weekly basis, I will have to memorize a certain portion. And I know that that portion will be about a little bit over half a page a day. So now, once I take the yearly goal and I reverse engineer and I break down, okay, what do I need to do on a monthly basis to accomplish this yearly goal? What do I need to do on a weekly basis to accomplish this monthly goal that will lead me to the yearly goal? And what do I need to do on a daily basis every single day that will bring me closer to accomplishing this weekly goal, that then will bring me closer to accomplishing the monthly goal, that then will allow me to accomplish the yearly goal? And that's what you want to do. You want to have yearly goals to determine what your monthly goals should be, to determine what your weekly goals should be, to determine what your daily routine is going to be every single day. And so of course, when you are setting goals, you want to look at your responsibilities. For example, you might have children already. You might have to wake up every day at 8 a.m. and bring them to school. And so 2 hours of your day are going to be spent in that responsibility. You might be working, and so 8 hours of your day, you are not going to be able to actively chase your goals. So 10 hours of your day might be restricted by your responsibilities, and that's fine. So you need to realistically set a goal. Okay, so I have 10 hours in the day that I cannot work towards my goals, but I have 4 hours that I can use on a daily basis to get closer 1% to my yearly goal. So what can I do in those 4 hours? Is it possible for me in those 4 hours to memorize a little bit over half a page of the Quran? And so determine based on that. For example, is those 4 hours that I have in a day, is those 2 hours that I have in a day, is that 1 hour that I have in a day realistically enough for me to get closer to the goal of getting married, to get closer to the goal of saving for $100,000 in my bank account at the end of the year? And based on that, set the yearly goal, a realistic yearly goal. If it's not possible for you to memorize half a page in the amount of time that you have free in a day, then set a smaller goal. For example, just 2 ayahs. But you know that those 2 ayahs, if you memorize 2 ayahs in a day, how much will have you memorized in a year? That might be, maybe in a year you will have memorized 3 chapters. I don't know right now. We'll have to do the math. But at least you know, and you have set consciously the goal of memorizing 3 chapters in this year of the Quran. And so I know that every day, if I memorize 2 ayahs at the end of two verses of the Quran, at the end of the year, I'm going to get to my yearly goal. So that will give you a peace inside of you. And you know that every day you have set a realistic goal that is very easy for you to accomplish. It doesn't burn you out after a week. It doesn't burn you out after 2 weeks. And you know that if you do that every day, you will achieve your yearly goal. And because it's very easy for you and very realistic for you to do on a daily basis, it gives you at the end of the day, once you are done with it, a burst of dopamine. And that burst of dopamine gives you motivation to keep on going. And because you keep on going and you keep seeing the results and you keep seeing your progress, it motivates you to accomplish more. So at the end of the year, you accomplish this goal. And next year, you set another goal, or you set a stronger goal. And because perhaps you now have accomplished the goal of saving this amount of money, now you are able to enhance your lifestyle. So that gives you another burst of dopamine, and you keep on growing. You keep on getting better and better at this skill, which is the skill of life and the skill of becoming a high performance individual. And it gives you more and more and more and more and more. And it's an ongoing and compounding system and process that only allows you to get better and better in life. So now we have the theory of how to develop your daily routine. Now let's go into the practical part of it, which is the execution. This is my most important thing of my whole protocol. I cannot function if I didn't have a good sleep. And this is how it is with any human being, really. So the first step of your sleeping routine should be to recognize that. Naam, Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. We have made the night for sleep and the day to live. As well was reported by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that he said, لا سهرة بعد العشاء. So it's disliked by the deen of Islam to stay awake after the prayer of Isha without any necessity. You should incorporate in your sleeping routine a time before sleeping to sit down and prepare your tomorrow today. So that way, when you wake up in the morning, you don't waste energy or mental strength thinking about what you're going to do. Okay, well, so my monthly goal is this, so maybe I should start with this. Yeah, let me start with this. You start doing the thing after 5 minutes. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start with this other thing. You don't want to have this in the morning. You can experience this thinking of, actually, I'm going to do this tomorrow, but it has to do on the day before. So that way, when you wake up in the morning, you open your eyes, you make your wudu, you go pray Salat al-Fajr, and straight after Fajr, you do your adhkar and your necessities, and straight away, as soon as possible, you start your work. You start whatever you have set that's going to be your main priority in the day, in your daily routine that we have set. If we take the example before, memorizing half a page. So you do that as soon as you wake up, as soon as possible, basically. If it's something else, another goal that you have set yourself to do, for example, I have a business and I want to increase my monthly revenue. And that requires for me to reach out to 10 companies on a daily basis. So that's what you're going to do on a daily basis as soon as you wake up, because that's what will bring the biggest effect and will bring the results to your weekly, monthly, and yearly goals, which will get you closer to your life mission. Second thing, in terms of your sleep, is so important, subhanallah. Like it almost, knowing this, it almost feels like I have information to something secret or something. And it's something that I got to know only maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. And this phenomenon is how sleep works. What happens when you sleep. And something called sleeping cycles. So in very simple English, what happens in the human body is that he requires anything between 4 to 6 cycles of sleep in a space of 24 hours. One cycle of sleep is 1 hour and a half. And on average, it takes an individual to fall asleep about 15 minutes. This means that if you don't sleep a full cycle, or that cycle gets interrupted, you will wake up sluggish. So a lot of people ask themselves, why do I sleep 7 hours, 8 hours? Because I go sleep at 10, and this is what everybody does, right? So it's 10 right now. So I'm gonna wake up at 6. So 10, 11, 12, 1. It doesn't work like that. It's not because you're in bed. Your time in bed doesn't equal to sleeping time. You wake up many times in the night, and many different factors in how you approach sleep will cause you to wake up in the night and have interrupted sleep, even if you don't feel it. All right, so we have something called sleeping cycles, and you require at least 4 cycles a day, right, in a space of 24 hours. So this means that if you are going to sleep at 10 p.m., you are going to have to count the 15 minutes that it will take you to fall asleep. If you get to the middle of the cycle, for example, you sleep 1 hour and you get to deep sleep, almost at REM sleep, and you wake up there, even if you slept 8 hours, you will wake up sluggish. However, if you slept only 4 hours, but it was in this case, it would be, let's not say 4 hours, let's say 3 full cycles of uninterrupted sleep. From the time you fell asleep to the time you woke up, you were sleeping, and you had enough deep sleep and enough REM sleep. You will wake up super refreshed, as if you slept 8 hours. So knowing this is a secret weapon, because sometimes we think, oh, I need 8 hours to feel good, man, next day. But in reality, if you strategically sleep and you set yourself to sleep for 4 cycles or 3 cycles or 2 cycles, you will wake up refreshed. Believe me, trust me, and try this on your own, and you will be surprised. I will leave a website that I use before going to sleep, and it calculates if you sleep at that time, at what time you should wake up, and it tells you at what time you should wake up to complete full cycles. So check it out and try it the next night that you go sleep. Now, it's important that you stay asleep. that when you go sleep, you stay asleep. So from the things that helps me stay asleep is having a blackout, fully dark room. Because if you're sleeping and you're in your light sleep and you open your eyes a little bit and it's bright, or there is a light that the corner of your eye sees, that will cause you to wake up or to stay at your light sleep, which is not the level of sleep that you want to stay at, because that's not the one that we said that helps you. It helps your muscles recover, etc. All right, so blackout room, white noise machine. Go to Amazon and type white noise machine. Is a machine that makes noise basically. It just goes like and your ear gets used to hearing that noise, and it's basic. The purpose of it is to block out noises on the back. Your sister waking up in the middle of the night, banging your door. Your father comes home at night late. Your significant other wakes up in the middle of the night. Whatever it might be, it will help you not hear those sounds. The next thing is, of course, the Aura Ring. The Aura Ring helps you see on a daily basis, what did I do last night that helped me get a better night last night? What did I eat too late? And the app as well tells you, it seems like you have eaten too late. It seems like you slept too late. It seems like you're starting to get sick. Literally, I caught COVID in the year of COVID, and the app told me before I actually started feeling it. As well as not eating or drinking too much. If not, I try to not drink at all or eat at all 3 hours before going to sleep. That increases my sleep immensely. And of course, lastly is sleeping early, like right after Isha. There is something special about the first third of the night. If you sleep right after Isha, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., you sleep 3 full cycles and you wake up at like 3 a.m., wallahi, you feel like, subhanAllah, like you slept 10 hours. So there is something special about the first third of the night. And I'm pretty sure you felt it before, where you stood up until after Fajr or until 3 a.m. And even though you slept 8 hours, you wake up so tired just because you went to sleep late. This brings me to the next point, which is having regular exercise. If you have regular exercise, your body will get tired. And at night, your body will ask you to go sleep. And you will have deeper sleep. That means that you will have more deep sleep. Remember when I told you light sleep, REM sleep? Deep sleep is the one that helps you recover. So you will have more of it. And you probably felt it before, where one day you walked probably 50,000 steps and you got home and you was just, I'm done. I'm ready to go sleep. You lay down and you sleep like a baby. You drew, the only thing, you don't even remember how you fell asleep. And that's because your body was super tired. So getting your body super tired actually helps you get more deep sleep. And if you get more deep sleep, it actually helps you to recover better. And your brain always stays sharp. And of course, you guys seen in the beginning of the video my transformation and how I went from overweight to shredded. And so I won't have time to talk about it here, but I will link a video where I will explain more in depth how did I accomplish that goal of going from overweight to shredded. Now, the next step is your diet. Your diet, as we said, with your sleep is very important. If you eat only junk food, you will feel bloated. You will feel unease in your stomach. It won't give you good sleep. Next day in the morning, you won't be able to focus because you keep on burping and you keep on tasting the same food you ate yesterday. So your diet, and as some experts call it, is your gut is your second brain. So whatever you put in your stomach will directly affect how you function. It was reported by Al-Imam al-Shafi'i that he said, الشبع يثقل البدن ويزيل الفطنة ويجلب النوم ويضعف صاحبه عن العبادة. So as a general rule, you want to follow the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where he taught us to keep one thuluth, one portion of your stomach for liquid, one portion of your stomach for food, one portion of your stomach for air. And so when you eat, don't eat too much. And in general, what has helped for me is eat one main meal a day. So around 12 p.m., I have a shake, a protein shake with some dates and some oats and things like that. And that gives me enough energy to keep on working. But at the same time, it doesn't decrease my energy where I'm like, oh, I just ate so much. And then later on at around 6 p.m., 5 p.m., I have my main meal. All right. So in terms of diet, of course, depending on your goals, you will have to eat a certain way or another way. In the video that I told you guys about my transformation, how I went overweight to shredded, of course, diet is 80% of it. So I will talk about it more in depth in there. And then lastly, in this chapter, we are going to talk about the environment design. And environment design is basically the art of deleting all distractions around you and design your environment in a way that it will help you achieve your goals. Very simple example. For example, if you have to wake up in the morning and you know you have to memorize half a page, but you know you have to do it in the morning because then you work, and you know that when you work, you come back home and you are tired and you will more likely not do it, and if you do it, you won't be as efficient. So you have to do it in the morning for sure. All right. But the problem is that when I wake up in the morning, I tend to pick up my phone and spend 1 hour scrolling through emails or scrolling through Instagram or whatever it might be. The phone distracts me. Or in the morning, I'm super tired because the night before I was playing with the children or I was talking to my wife or whatever it might be. So what you need to do is you need to analyze the things that distract you and that restricts you from accomplishing the goals and the daily tasks that lead you to accomplishing your weekly goals, monthly goals, and yearly goals, and systemize that. Make a system. For example, oh, but if I don't go sleep early, then my wife is going to be angry at me. Okay, well, finish your days earlier and finish your days, for example, three hours earlier, and spend 2 hours with your children and your wife. Or my phone is a distraction, for example. Lock it away. In the next chapter, we will talk about a box that I use to lock my phone away and to not distract me while I'm working or doing something that requires a lot of focus on distracted block of time. But basically, that's what you want to do. You want to analyze what is distracting you from the tasks and get rid of it, or at least design the environment in a way where it won't distract you. For example, every day when I get home, I go into my Uber Eats app or Talabat app or Deliveroo app, and I can't help it but buy food. All right, well, let's start by deleting the app. Let's start by deleting the app and perhaps adding another layer of difficulty. Like, for example, every time I get money, I get disposable income, I will send it to my savings account. That requires for me to go to the bank and request for them to unlock it for me to get that money. Or I will send it to an account somewhere. I will send it to my mom and I will tell her to keep it. Whatever it might be, you need to set systems that will, by default, make the thing that you are getting distracted to too far and too difficult to attain that your body automatically will say, you know what, never mind, let's be focused. So the whole concept is that you focus is always there. The problem is the things that come in the way that distract you. So get rid of those things. Sometimes it might be people, sometimes it might be the environment, sometimes it might be devices. Get rid of those and you will find focus. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. And just like this, we got to the last chapter of this tutorial and this full guide. If you made it all up until here, tell me in the comments, this is how I will take control over my life, or this is how I will become more disciplined, or this is how I will change my life, or whatever you think that this is how you are going to do. I want to see those loyal viewers and those disciplined, non-short attention nerds in the comment section, inshallah. So let's tackle the last chapter, starting with deep work. The concept of deep work is basically a chunk of time of undistracted and focused and uninterrupted time where you work on something. So let's say, for example, if you have to memorize half a page a day of the Quran, or you have to reach out to 10 companies a day, you do it in a time and you let everybody know. You use environment design and you let everybody know in your family, at this time, please don't message me, don't talk to me, don't knock on my door, don't tap my shoulder. I am in full deep work and I have switched on my deep work mode. I just need 3 hours, I just need 4 hours of uninterrupted time. Experts, they say that on average it takes 25 minutes for someone to reach a level of focus. So what happens is just like your sleeping cycles. If you start 25 minutes in, and within those 25 minutes of you trying to work on something, you get distracted by your phone, by somebody talking to you. Yo, Muhammad, do you want something to eat? Or you get a delivery from Amazon. Oh, wait, I get a delivery. You go, you get up. Or you have put on the stove some food, and after 15 minutes, you have to get up from what you was trying to focus on to check and stir the food and so on. It literally needs to be a chunk and a block of time that is uninterrupted. Even if you have to not drink that much water so you don't have to get up and go to the toilet, do so. Like for example, right now, the best example is me editing this video. I've been working on this video since 6 a.m. It's 6 p.m. right now. And so the only moment when I stop is to go to Jumu'ah. And then I came back and I continued to record and edit. And my phone has been locked up since last night, actually. Since last night, my phone has been locked up. I have this phone. This phone is like, just like people has access to it. People that, like just friends and stuff. And this is my work and family phone. And so this brings me to the next topic, which is distraction management. Now, in order for you to achieve a successful deep work session, it's required for you to get rid of all and absolutely all distractions. And in our times nowadays, the biggest distraction is this phone, is the phone. Wallahi, the phone can, in 1 year, if you really counted how much time you spend on your phone, you'll be surprised, subhanAllah. So this simple and quick fix of locking your phone, what I do is I put my phone in this box and I set the timer. I set the timer here. And it doesn't allow me to open it until the timer is done. At this time, this phone will be unlocked in 11 hours. So this phone, I check it like every 3 days or so on. Sometimes I go 1 week without checking it. And this phone is actually unlocked right now, but it was locked since last night. And that helps me to get up in the morning. And as they say, out of sight, out of mind. So because the phone, you can't reach it. And so it's out of your mind. You don't even try to get distracted by it. So with anything else in life that distracts you on a daily basis, you need to have a ongoing analysis of distractions in your life. Now, the third topic is downtime. After you start this journey of high performance and high intensity work, you will get burnout. Like, you have to know that. And that's the reason why you probably started certain goals, and after a week, after 2 weeks, you got burnt out and you completely dropped it. So you need to live by this quote, which is, don't miss one day because it will break momentum. And don't miss 2 days because it will build a pattern that is hard to break. And after you go into the third day, fourth day, fifth day, and that's it. You are not in your focus mode anymore. And the only thing you do is you let months pass by, years, and you never accomplish your goals. So be mindful of having downtime, like actually forcing yourself to not work, to not force yourself to overwork. Like, for example, do too many hours, more than what you set yourself to do. You know that in an hour you can memorize half a page. Why would you keep on pushing yourself for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, just because you get that burst of motivation? No, just do half a page today. Khalas, we did half a page. Don't get over motivated and say, oh no, I'm just gonna do 3 pages today. Then you do however many hours it takes you to do that, and then next day you are completely exhausted. So you don't have the energy to work on your daily routine, and then you miss one day, you miss 2 days, you miss 3 days, and it breaks the momentum. So having downtime is very important. Spend time with your family, spend time with yourself, enjoy a vacation, whatever it might be. Don't get into this intense focus mode, only work, only studies, only my goals, my goals, my goals, my goals, my goals. Because actually having downtime, it will help you to come back to your daily routine and be able to do it in a more fluent way. Lastly, you want to have consistent simplicity, meaning don't do too many goals, as we said earlier in the past chapters. Don't set yourself to accomplish too many things in a day or too many things in a year, because then it becomes overcomplicated. Keep it as simple as possible. All I need to do is memorize half a page a day, for example. All I need to do is reach out to 10 companies a day, for example, and just keep it simple. But the most important thing is going to be that compound effect of you keep on doing that thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Even though it's small, it's better. And as it was reported by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that he said, خَيْرُ الْأَعْمَالِ أَدْوَامُهَا وَإِنْ قَلْ. So make sure you prioritize consistency over quantity in this case. And just keep it simple. Keep your day simple. That's all I'm going to do for this year. And you know that at the end of the year, you are going to accomplish this goal, and you are going to be able to keep on going until next year, until next year, until next year. And that will keep on building your strength to accomplish goals. And year after year, you will set yourself more challenging goals that it will just be regular to you, because you have built that muscle, you have built that strength of keep on doing this daily routine. Now, lastly, I want to give you access to a template like this for you to create your own board to look at. I literally look at this while brushing my teeth every day. And as you can see here, and this is super personal, and I was actually thinking, should I show them or not? But I really want you guys to benefit from this. And I think full transparency is the only thing that will actually, allow you to really benefit. So first, I have my life goal in here. This is my life goal. My goal is to finish all the important books of Arabic, from Al-Ajrumiyya to Al-Kitab, memorize the Quran, and get a PhD in Arabic. Help 1,000 students through proficiency,
and build the curriculum to be taught in universities. This is my life goal. So I have here these that I read every day. And by reading it every day, you keep that emotional attachment to your mission on a daily basis so you don't forget. And so then you come here and your affirmations should be things that are directly aligned with the tasks that allows you to complete your weekly, monthly, and yearly goals. So for me, for example, this year, as you guys can see here, this year for me, the title of this year, it was building the habit of revising the Quran. And so my main goal was to be able to read from Nas to Furqan, from Hifd. The second, it was make a million profit. And the third one was to build Physical Anders Institute. This one we actually, I wouldn't say we failed, we just changed our mind in the middle of the year. And that's fine as well. So sometimes you might have a goal. That's what I want you to, and this is why I want to be transparent with you. Sometimes you will set a goal, and in the middle of the year, you will realize that, well, actually it doesn't make sense, or actually there's something better, or whatever it might be. So for us, for example, instead of doing this at Anders Institute, we actually built our own platform on so it was a better move actually. So I'm in the toilet. I cannot praise my Lord, but but you guys get what I'm saying. Now the affirmations. So this life goal, these yearly goals. Okay, so I'm looking at, okay, this is what I want to achieve while I'm brushing my teeth, and then these things are directly aligned with achieving this. So for example, I repeat this every day and I drill this into my mind. You guys remember when I told you that your subconscious mind doesn't make a difference between what you say jokingly and what you say seriously? So the same thing happens with your affirmations. If you repeat something so much, your subconscious mind will start believing it, and you will start acting upon it. And you will start acting upon it, and then you will adapt it as a habit, and they will become your destiny. So I say I sleep straight after Isha. I religiously review Quran every morning. I keep 10% percentage body fat all year around. This, for example, I wrote this out of ignorance. I mean, not out of ignorance, but I realized in the middle of the year that keeping 10%, it will be very hard for my lifestyle. So anyways, I've been staying at around 15 to 13, something like that. I don't randomly scroll through social media. That's what dumb people do. I will teach Arabic to 100 people. Now here, you see, my life goal changed in the middle of the year from 100 to 1,000. I focus by deleting all distractions. I only post what aligns with my brand. I don't travel unless necessary. It puts me off track of everything. I don't let woman's irrationality weaken my emotional stability. Shaitan wants to corrupt the Muslims by keeping them away from Arabic, so I fight him every day. So basically, these things are things that I want to be like this, basically. So I read these things and I keep on saying what I do, even if I don't do it. Even if you don't do it, even if you are not like this, write it and say you do it, and say that you are like this. Because if you say so, it will become your habit. It will become your paradigm, and it will become your way of seeing yourself as. I hope to meet you one day in real life and you tell me, you remember that video you made? It helped me accomplish these, and this. Check this video if you're interested about these type of topics. And I'll see you in the next one. Salamu alaikum.